time to serve the story hour. I'm Lorraine Mclean, your director of Gen 5. And today's story I will read is Anancy and the Magic Pot. A long time ago, there was a great famine in the land. People could hardly find anything to eat. Brother Anancy and his family were starving, as were most of the other animals. One day, the little Spider-Man was walking in the forest and his foot bounced against a pot that he did not see. "What a pretty little pot," Anancy said. "Don't call me pretty or little," the pot replied. "So what should I call you?" asked Anancy. "Call me Do Make Me See." Anancy felt that name sounded silly, but he said it nonetheless. "Do Make Me See." All of a sudden, the pot began to cook a meal. The meal smelled so good, like a nice Sunday dinner. Anancy whiffed the aroma coming out of the pot, and he could not remember ever smelling anything so inviting. It smelled as if the pot was cooking fricasseed chicken with rice and mungo peas mixed together. Anancy rubbed his belly with great expectation because he was very hungry. After a while, the pot told Brother Anancy to lift up its cover. Inside was more than he had imagined. Not only was there the chicken with rice and peas, but also there were 2 pieces of Thai yam and about 6 big wheelbarrow-sized dumplings. Anancy ate and ate until he was full. No wedding feast could have matched the joy the little Spider-Man felt in waxing off the pot of food. The food not only filled his belly, but even Brother Anancy's heart was now content. He was so contented that the usually selfish spider offered to do a good deed for the pot. "Let me take you over to that little stream and wash you out," Anancy suggested to the pot. "No, no, no, no," the pot shouted. "You must never wash me. Leave me here just the way you found me." So Porco Anancy, for that was his full name, turned down the pot. But true to his selfish nature, he went to great pains to hide it under a heap of leaves. Then he marched home with the fullest belly he had ever had. When Anancy got home, his starving wife and children asked him if he brought any food for them. He reached into his pocket and pulled out 2 spoiled raspberries that he had picked up off the ground. He gave them to his wife Aso and told her to share them up. What he was careful not to do was to tell any of them anything about the magic pot or that his own belly was very full. The next day, Brother Anancy returned to the forest and walked as quickly as he could to the spot where he had found the magic pot. He was extremely happy to find that the pot was still there, as he said, Do make me see." The magic pot started to boil once again. This time, Anancy smelled the aroma of salted mackerel simmering in coconut milk. It smelled so very good. When he opened up the pot once again, he was pleasantly surprised. Not only had the pot cooked up the most inviting rundown he had ever seen, even the tomatoes, onions, scallions, and pepper were bubbling away. But there were many green bananas and at least a baker's dozen of wheelbarrow-sized dumplings. Anancy gobbled up the meal with utter delight. Again, the good-for-nothing Spider-Man returned home with a belly full and did not share his secret with his family. Every day, Brother Anancy would go off into the forest and gorge himself with all the delicious meals that the magic pot cooked. And every day he returned home with only a few raspberries or gifts for his family. Now, Anancy's wife, Mrs. Aso Anancy, was a smart woman. After about 2 weeks, she noticed that her husband was looking quite well. After all, in the midst of a famine, he was getting rounder and rounder. She wondered now, how could Porco be getting so fat when there is so much starvation in the land? So one day, Mrs. Aso decided to follow Porco into the forest. Aso walked a good distance behind her husband until finally she saw him talking to the magic pot. She pulled him closer and heard him say, Do make me see. The spider woman could not believe her eyes. The pot started to boil. It cooked and cooked until Anancy opened it up. He had a big meal of curry goat and white rice, along with a handful of green bananas, half of a pumpkin, and a whole hill of cucumbers. Anancy sat down on a tree stump and he ate it all off. When he finished, he licked all the fingers and toes on his 8 hairy legs and picked out the morsels from in between his teeth, wiped his lips clean, turned on the pot, and covered it with a few leaves. As soon as her husband left, Mrs. Aso ran through another room to get her 7 children. She dragged the starving little spiders into the bushes, took out the magic pot, and she said, "Do make me see." The pot did not disappoint her. It cooked the most delicious meal of ackee and saltfish with yellow heart breadfruit that they had ever eaten. Mrs. Aso and the Anancy children ate so much that they would not have to eat again for another week. They were very happy. Now, Mrs. Aso Anancy was a tidy lady, but she was somewhat arrogant and hardly listened to anyone but herself. When she and her children finished eating, she took the pot down to the stream, and even though the pot told her not to wash it, she decided that she knew best. She gave the magic pot a good scrub, and then she put it back where Anancy had it. The next day, Anancy came and turned over the magic pot. "Don't make me see," he said. Absolutely nothing happened. "Do make me see!" Anancy shouted. The pot did not start cooking. The little Spider-Man stamped his legs. "Do make me see!" Nothing. Over and over again he said, "Do make me see! Do make me see!" But nothing happened. Brother Anancy opened the pot and to his surprise realized that it had been washed. The pot was so clean that immediately he suspected who must have washed it so thoroughly. "It must have been my wife," he mumbled to himself. The Spider-Man became angry. He turned around and started to march back home to confront his wife. Just then, he bumped his toe on a piece of stick. Brother Anancy shouted, "Stupid piece of stick! Don't call me stupid piece of stick," the stick said. "So what must I call you?" Brother Anancy asked. "Call me Do Make Me See," Anancy asked. Sorry. "So what must I call you?" Anancy asked. "Call me Do Make Me See," the stick replied. So Anancy, thinking he would get more good fortune, screamed out, "Do make me see!" The stick set up on him and gave him a proper beating. Brother Anancy got even angrier because his good fortune had turned back, and it was all because of the conniving greed and arrogance of his wife. Or that was how he saw it. But wait, the stick was a way to get his revenge against the person who had washed out the magic pot. So he could get revenge on his wife. He realized, and Anancy picked up the stick. "I found this in the forest," Brother Anancy announced as he reached home. "Let me see what it is," Mrs. Anancy asked. Brother Anancy handed the stick over to his wife. She examined it carefully, turned it here, turned it there. Then she said, "It's nothing special. It's just a stupid piece of stick." "Don't call me stupid piece of stick," the stick said. "So what must I call you?" Aso Anancy asked. "Call me Do Make Me See," the stick replied. Mrs. Anancy was also thinking that she would get some good fortune, so she yelled out, "Do Make Me See." As soon as she said that, the stick set upon her and gave her a proper beating. Then it caught up with her 7 children and gave them beatings too. Finally, the stick turned on Brother Anancy and walloped him soundly. And from that day, everyone in the Anancy family was careful not to keep secrets from